Sense, the podcast, with your host, Clinton Washington, and your co-host, DeAngelo Gillespie. Let's go!
And I see the same, thing with yourself as far as being connected with all your homies. How you started off and how it was all about you and your homies. That's what it was about with me and my homies. Making sure everybody eat, making sure everybody's involved. But as you grow, you lose certain homies because it's called closing the gap. This is the gap when we start. This is the gap as you grow. Notice how you grow and they don't. So how do you close the gap? You got to come back down. When you come back down, you lose. So you got to keep going up. That's why closing that gap got to be them catching up to you. And if they don't catch up, you got to leave them behind because you getting to the point now where you got to start cutting out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't look back when you cut them out.
Welcome. This is another episode of 2 Cent the Podcast. You are here once again with Uncle Clint and my sidekick, Mr. DeAngelo Gillespie. What's going on, man?
Hey, man. Just out here waiting for code to stop.
Okay,
You know me.
You guys have just heard an excerpt from Snoop Dogg. He was in an interview and he was talking about moving forward without his homies, which brings us into the topic of discussion today. No matter what the amount of success that you have, should you go back and get your homies? So sitting with me today is none other than, as I've already announced, Mr. DeAngelo Gillespie.
Man, you fuck my name up every week.
I know, man. I'm blaming it on liquor. Blame it on alcohol.
Yeah.
But also sitting with us, very close friend of the show, Mr. Gary Owens.
Yeah. They had me out here, baby.
Hey, you know what?
That's
Mr. Fourth Quarter.
Yeah.
That's Mr. Fourth Quarter. If you need it, he got it. All right?
Hey.
Gary.
Almost.
Should you go back and get your homies?
Depends really on the age.
Okay.
Age bracket, really. In the early 20s, yeah, that's what it's about. Bringing up your whole team. At this age, I just feel completely different. I'm looking back at my three homies, my two main homies from high school. One has his own business and he's flourishing. The other one, he's a local weed man.
Okay.
Is
he the
entrepreneur?
The legal weed man or the illegal weed man?
Absolutely illegal.
He in the South, man. So we ain't as progressive out there yet.
Okay. So he's still focusing, right? Now, DeAngelo, I'm gonna ask you: should you go back and get your homie?
It depends on what you mean by go back. I feel like we are all obligated to do our part in our community. So, and what I mean by that is, if I can help you out, then I'm down to help you out. I mean, but like Gary say, see, I feel differently because I don't think it's a age determination on growth. Sometimes people grow at their own. I don't know this whoever's still selling weed, but shit, if he come to me and he like, yo man, help me with my resume, I don't get to not help this man with his resume simply because he selling weed or selling dope or whatever he's selling. You know what I'm saying? I still feel like I still need to try.
Okay, so in that sense, this person is coming to you to elevate themselves. But I'm talking about going back to get your homie. That means that you have to give the effort to try to get them.
You can't get nobody who don't want to be got, though.
But see, that was my thing. I got, like I said, just going back for me, my two closest friends from high school. Currently, I got one. If things didn't work out where I'm at right now, I can set up shop with him and build my own business because that's what he do. Now, my other guy, he's still doing the same stuff that we were doing, what he was doing 30 years ago.
Okay.
So it's like there's no change with you at all. So it's I thought, we supposed to be growing, but we 30 years removed from high school, and we're still doing the same things. Like, I can't help you.
I feel
Your mind, you have not changed at all.
I feel like folks gonna do what's been working. I don't know, dude. So I'm gonna ask you, shit, is selling weed? Is that working? I mean, he ain't gonna move up. He ain't gonna move up the cocaine.
Well,
Oh my goodness.
What I mean, honest man, you can't sell weed forever, man.
Well,
Oh Lord.
I'll just say,
You gotta get these keys.
I'm just saying,
You still selling weed? I ain't fucking around. I'm really asking.
he got some of
can't
that
believe you
Portland,
just said
so
that.
that Portland is a little different.
Oh,
So now he's
selling high
like,
grade.
whoa. He's like, oh, this is a little bit different than what we getting.
But check this out. So say they legalize weed, then where he at?
Oh, then we in the game now.
No, he fucked because he out the game. Shit, if it was a dispensary, then
Oh, if it was a dispensary, we good. But what you doing is
No, so what he's saying is, let's say for example, they do legalize marijuana where he is.
he don't got no job.
He's no longer the supplier because the supply is now on every corner.
yeah,
yeah. So
Where's he at now?
He out.
that's it.
So
That's all he knows.
so
But he grew up with y'all. That can't be all he know. He know y'all.
Dude,
Right.
he went to the military and got kicked out the military for doing the same shit
Selling weed in the military?
in Germany.
I'm sorry.
I've seen that before.
I'm not finna laugh at that. That's just crazy.
No, it's no matter what your walk of life is, and no matter
Man.
what block it leads you down,
No,
if
that's-
you don't remove yourself from that element or that environment or that mentality, you still want to do the same thing.
Well, I don't want to say that, man, because shit, I feel like we all know dope dealers that we still hang with.
I understand that, but at the same time, if you're very good at selling dope and you end up in the military or you end up on the police
But I
force,
feel like if you in the military, you don't need to sell dope no more. What you still selling dope for?
Side hustle.
I tell you what, join the military and live below the poverty line.
We just had that conversation the other day.
Right.
yeah.
And military folks live below the poverty line. You have military folks who are on food stamps.
That makes no sense.
Makes no sense. I mean, that's a whole different discussion, but that's a reality. You have people in the military who are on food stamps. So if you're on food stamps and you're trying to take care of a family and opportunity arises, whether legal or illegal, I mean, they may take it. But I don't want to go in that direction. I don't want to go in that direction because I'm telling you that it's the real deal.
All right, so I want to give a little context to the podcast just so it won't seem like I'm talking from inside knowledge. Me and Gary kind of grew up together, so is when I say, but I don't want to tell your story. Now you say you don't believe in reaching back, and I know I'm gonna ask my partner a question because he's the question to answer. But somebody reached back for you though, right?
They did, but
Yo, explain it.
But you looking at when somebody reached back, I'm fresh out of school. I have a vision on a career.
Yeah.
So when you reaching back,
Did you holler at him about that, or he just? And what was you doing? Tell the story. So you were in school.
All right, so-
we was all in school.
yeah,
We gone. You got another year.
I got another year.
So pick up from there.
My 3 or 4 homeboys, as soon as they graduated, they got recruited by this company, and immediately they started working. The way our school portrayed it, when you graduate, they're gonna be waiting at the door for you as far as jobs. That didn't work out for me. So in hindsight, I graduated with a bachelor's degree, and we're just trying to get.
Wait. Did you have the lowest GPA? Why they wasn't waiting on you?
At that point, when I graduated, I had no vision on what I wanted to do.
Okay.
That was my fault.
Okay.
I thought that somebody was going to give me a job and we were going to just roll with it. I was
Okay.
young. I had no vision on what I wanted for myself. So by the time I graduated, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know which way to go. When I was looking at my homeboys, they came as soon as they ink was dry. We take y'all over here. I thought it was going to be that easy for me, but it wasn't. So it took probably a year after I graduated. My right-hand man reached out and was like, I can get you a job. At the time in Atlanta, for some reason, I always fell in this valley where I had the education, but I never had the experience. So I would apply for jobs.
Most people have that.
So it just never worked out. So when I went to this company, they were more than willing to take me in, and I hit the ground running. So it was like he reached back at 24, 25 and opened up a major door for me.
You was already working though?
At that time, I was working 2 jobs, and I was making pennies.
Were you working the Georgia Tech shit, right?
No.
The bank shit?
Bank.
So okay. We don't want to throw no banks or any other.
Let me say their name.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. I don't want to be sued.
Man, y'all had me, boy. Look here, man.
Now let's kind of. Did you have any other responsibilities like wife, kids?
Wife, 2 kids, working 7 days a week.
2 jobs.
2 jobs, and that one check I was getting was, I say, the 2 checks I was getting a month. After I covered my car note and my mortgage, I may have had $300 left
For the whole month.
for the month.
I
ain't even paying no bills.
I want to ask you a question because I mean, you know, you family man, but like even family, we don't tell each other everything. Now, did you tell? I guess you know when somebody reach out for you, you know, you always appreciate it, but you know, some of this we always accredit some of this to God. Did you even tell him that you was going through that, or he just reached out, just on some? Yo.
He reached out because.
But did he know what you was dealing with?
He didn't know what I was dealing with because at that point, I
gotta give my family some shine. Hey, he talking about my twin brother. I'm sorry.
He didn't know to
we from good
extent.
stock, man. We from good stock. I got to let you know.
You just always got to find a way to stroke your ego, huh?
Yeah,
that ain't even mine. That's my twin. Well, we came from the same sack.
You know, shout out to Carla for getting one right.
All right, but no, serious. Did he know your situation?
He knew that I was trying to get a job, but he didn't know the extent of how I was pretty much living check to check. But he always was like, I can get you on, I can help. So that was just the one person that was always like, come on out here. So,
right. So at the time, he was in California.
Yeah, he was in the Bay Area.
So he reached back.
He reached back. Not only did he reach back, I'm gonna get you the interview. I'm gonna pay for you to come out here. The day I get there, he introduced me to my manager. My manager spoke to the people that were interviewing me the next day. So it was pretty much.
It was set.
Yep, dog. I got the job the same day.
Okay.
That you landed? That you landed?
No, I got there Wednesday. I met my manager that night because my boy brought me through Intel. He brought me through the spot.
Yeah.
He would just introduce me to people. So the next day I had my interview. I got the job the same night. And I came back in 2 weeks.
Had a job. Had different circumstances for your family.
Off top.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So okay. In this scenario, somebody reached back and looked out for their homeboy, got you into a good position. You know, sounds like a little nepotism to me, but you know, hey, it works. But you got in that position. So now I'm gonna ask you again: should you reach back for your homie?
To be honest, if you look back, yes, because I left the situation I had because I got homesick and the Bay, California was just not for me. Sorry, Brandon. Anyway, I left the opportunity that I had that was presented to me, and I went back home because I thought the grass is greener back in the A, which it wasn't. So long story short, 7 years later, after going back home and going back to
he was struggling, boy.
Yeah,
he was struggling, boy.
The same people that were my manager, was my top engineer, they would come to Oregon. They reached back out. Hey, we need 90 people. What you want?
And they reached out to you. So we're going to be, hold on. Let's be very careful about names that we use because Two Cent the Podcast is not in the business of being sued or receiving cis and deceased. You know what, DeAngelo, what I'm talking about. because you done got us a couple of those so far. But so this company hired you.
Yeah.
You worked for them for a time period. How long did you work for them the first time?
2 years in California.
All right, 2 years. And you decided to go back to your circumstance.
I didn't even have a job.
How did it work out for you?
No.
I didn't even have a job.
No. But you decided
You
to go
left
back
without
to
a
your
job?
old
Oh,
circumstance.
you crazy as hell.
Yeah.
Because you thought the grass was greener. They didn't even have their own lawn service where you was going to, but you thought the grass was green.
He just wanted to go back to Atlanta.
Well, you know,
I understand that as a young man.
California at 26, 27 was too much for me.
It's the Bay Area. It's not even fast. Like
Well, you know, it just
It ain't the
the cops, the lifestyle with the cops again, constantly pulled over. It wasn't for me.
That shit wasn't fun. When I moved to the
wait,
Bay,
hold on.
It just wasn't fun.
You know what? I'm go.
But you used to it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna represent my
from that
state,
trash-ass
and
state.
I'm gonna ask you a question. How fast was you going when you got pulled over? Because
First
you
of
know
all-
what? I
Oh,
see
man,
you
don't start-
drive, and I done drove with you, and I
First of
refuse to be a
all-
passenger in your car.
First of all, I've gotten pulled over so many times in California. It don't make any sense. I got pulled over.
It was that trash ass car you had.
Well, you know, I was trying to build.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Honda. You know, I'm a Honda.
A Honda
guy.
what?
Accord. You know, I do it big, baby. Honda Accord, baby. So 4-door, baby, with the leather. Anyway,
It had a hatchback.
no, man, that's just 4-door, man.
Okay, 4-door.
So
No hatchback.
So I just got pretty much the abuse of the cops, which is way too much for me. It
Okay.
got to a point to where my son was terrified of police. I was like, you know what, I can't do it. So, long story short, we sent the kids back, and the wife went back, and then I just left. Granted, my manager at the time said, "I'll give your wife a job.
Wow.
I would give your wife a job
If you stay.
and 15% raise." Granted, I was 26, 27.
The dude he talking about, super solid, man.
26, 20. At that point, I just didn't realize what I had in front of me.
Okay. So you went back home.
I went back home, got unemployment, and was back to the hustle with my kinfolk, and that shit was horrible. So, long story short, if your people reach out, man, stick to it, man. It was a 7-year gap where I just was like, what did I do?
Yo, Gary used to see me come into the city and
I
like
hated DeAngelo.
he used to see me coming to the city. He used to be like, "Man, this nigga party more in the city, and I damn live here. He don't even live here." Yo, when I first moved to California,
Wait. Hold on. Before
my
you
bad.
get to that.
My
Before you
bad.
get to that. Should you reach back for your homies? Based on the success that you have had thus far, should you reach back to your homies?
you should reach back for people who got. You shouldn't say shit like this. You should reach back for people who got something to lose.
Explain that.
I would reach back for one of my partners with a family and some kids and some shit to lose, who understands that the dirt they gonna put on my name by coming out here showing their ass is gonna be something that we ain't gonna be able to get over.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? If you introduce me to somebody, I'm treading on your name. Your name, your relationship with them says DeAngelo is good. If I get into their shit and I steal something out their house, it sullies my name and yours because you vouch for me.
Right.
And you got to remember that when you reaching out for somebody. Gary was able to be reached out for because he understood the integrity of Gary. So he already knew, shit, somebody reached for me. The same person reached out for me and kind of just said, "Hey man, are you interested in this?" And I wasn't interested in this shit. I didn't want to move to the West Coast. I had never been out here and I ain't care nothing about it.
I still don't like Portland.
I ain't like Cali. But
Cali either.
But what it is once you finally get out here and you see, man.
Well, you know what? Y'all done like
I-
Cali or Portland.
yeah,
y'all can give us our Cali and Portland money back and go
I'll
back
tell
to
you-
Atlanta.
I'll tell you this. My brother changed my whole goddamn life, man.
Okay. How?
Just by putting me in positions to win. Just by showing me an opportunity that I didn't even want. I was working in Jersey. I was working at
New York.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, yeah. I was living in New York. I was working in Jersey. I won't say the company name, but I came out here on some random snowboarding shit. He said, "Let me introduce you to somebody." He introduced me to Tanaka.
I can't hear you.
He introduced me to somebody. He just introduced me to a guy.
Okay.
And just that introduction.
Wait. That same guy.
Tanaka. Yeah.
Just that same guy.
I ain't gonna say his whole name.
Stop saying names.
No,
please.
that ain't his name.
That same
That's
guy.
his real name. Yeah.
That same guy. When we got hired, we got hired on back out here, the first day of Neo, I just reached out because that was my guy we used to play ball with. I was like, hey man, what's going on, man? I just want to holler at you. The first thing he said was, hey Gary, man, I can get you a job. We hiring. It's the connections I have here is unlike anything else.
But
and that's based off of somebody reaching out.
But I say all that to say he made connections with these people. And when you make connections with people, like whatever connections you make and then you introduce me, they're going to extend me the same love they would extend to you, because by believing in you and you believing in me, I've already got that pass. By him already coming out west and making good, and he say, yo, Gary good. That's it. We ain't gonna talk about it no more. If he say DeAngelo good, that's it. We ain't gonna talk about it no more. The thing I want to say about reaching out, reaching back for people is you gotta know the character of a man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know the work ethic. Because I tell you what, for every successful story like Gary or somebody, I can tell you stories about people who reached out for people, and when they got their chance to shine, they showed their ass instead. Mm-hmm. Putting my credibility and yours into question.
Right.
That even goes back to a coworker we know, who we all met and try to take under our wing. And then it's like you try to build somebody up, and this person just shits on the whole crew. And you be like, damn, you know what? I'm glad I had nothing to do with bringing this person in. Because I met this person, I'm like, damn, I remember I was just like you. I was your age, whoop-de-woo, and I tried to bring you in, give you good advice, and then it ain't even been 7 months. You shitted on the whole situation. And that goes back to what you were saying, like you got people you trying to look out for. They just turn around and shit on the whole situation. Like, damn, I'm glad I didn't put my neck out.
Because they think they only hurt
you.
Yeah, because they only think they shitting on themselves. But
I think a lot of people don't even care regardless.
I see that.
But we can't move like that. Shit. If you tell somebody, yo, DeAngelo good, we straight. And then I show my ass, everybody looking at you like, yo, why Clint say he was good and he'll tear my shit up.
Yep.
Right.
Like they mad at me, yes. But they also like, oh, well, Clint don't know what the hell he talking about. We should write your ass off too, because clearly you don't know what the hell you talking about either.
I can agree with that. It's always been my thing to try to open up a door or opportunity for folks, right? That's just, part of my character. If I can get it, I'm going to help you get it too. But it's been my experience where it's 50-50. I can reach back for a person and say, hey, come on up here. There's and let me be very careful when I say up here.
It's fine. Talk your shit. Get your shit on.
Let me be very, very careful.
Get your shit on.
Right?
You know where it's at.
What I'm talking about is this.
If
your circumstances doesn't provide you certain opportunity where you're struggling to take care of your family, and I can provide you something that's a level up from where you are.
Yeah.
All right. And that's what I mean by up here, because, we got some sensitive ass listeners. The shit that they come back with where you said this.
Man, fuck them. I can do two cartwheels. I'm in my partner crib right now. We can do 2 cartwheels. We ain't gonna touch shit.
You stupid. Hey, but
somebody got a mink blanket over there.
The finest a rabbit.
But when you try to help a person elevate their game, and you get them to that situation to, let's say where you are.
But it's never burned you?
It's burnt me more times than it has actually been successful. I have to be honest.
You gotta,
and you still help. I ain't gonna lie, Clint.
You got a big heart.
You do, man.
I thought I had a big heart. You got a dude.
I never thought you had a big heart. I ain't never thought you gave a damn about nobody. I'm telling you.
Well, you do. I got to do what I
You
got
should
to
listen to Gary talk about reaching back.
Well, can I say, man, fuck that. Okay, it's motherfuckers that think that. It's motherfuckers that really think that
Gary got it, y'all. Gary
yes,
got it.
okay.
Gary got it, y'all.
Motherfuckers think that, oh, I see you posting this, you got it.
Right.
And you think you are.
Talk about that Masters, player. Talk about it. Let them know what that money.
Dude, I really.
Talk your talk.
I mean, on a whole side note, I worked hard to get through school. And it was okay when Gary was struggling and you saw it and it looked like, oh, he ain't getting it. It was cool. But now that people see stuff and think that, okay, he's getting it, it's so different how people treat you that has your same blood. It's funny.
Right.
But it is what it is.
Don't be like that, man.
I'll say this. My kids got more support from people that don't have the same blood than they actual family members.
I hate when you say that, man. I'm gonna be honest.
It is.
I've heard him say that.
So much. I hate when he say that.
And I'm going to say it with a straight face. My kid's about to be, my daughter is 19. My son is about to be 18. My kids know you guys. They know people that's been around them that's made a physical effect on their life. So it is what it is. And it may come off wrong, but when my kids see y'all, it's respect. When I say we're going to see somebody have their same bloodline, it's like, can I stay home?
Yeah, man. What I think half of that, some of that got something to do with how you receive it.
It is what it is. I don't care.
So okay, let's kind of turn the corner here. Let me ask you a question.
Welcome.
Let's
put it in the dirt.
So,
yeah.
Come on. What amount of success do you have to have where you're required to reach back to help someone? So you hear celebrities all the time. You know, there's like, oh, they need to do more for the community. Oh, we made them by buying their CDs or watching their movies or whatever. And you see most celebrities, you know, especially, you know, ones that grew up in maybe environments like ours, you know, it's like, you know, they used to say, Eazy said about Dre, you know, you claim the hood, but you moved to Riverside. Back in the day, Riverside was the best county to live in.
Really?
Right, that was money. You know, then we tore that up too. But anyway, that's a whole nother story.
I don't feel like money is the give back.
Oh, okay.
I don't think money is the give back because when you say reach back, when somebody reach back for me, I ain't never with no money.
Well, I'm not talking about in the sense of money, but I'm talking about at what amount of money do you have to be earning where you're required to reach back?
I don't think it's the amount of money. I think it's about a position of influence. If you know what I'm saying, like when I feel like when I was reached back for, Gary was reached back for, it wasn't no money on the table. It was let me give you this opportunity. Right. You see, but you gotta be smart enough to recognize the opportunity. That is the problem. If we really talking, and that's the problem. And I'm gonna say this word. That's the problem with niggas. They equate things in dollar bills and how much money you gonna get. What you don't see is the opportunity. Watch this. I don't even know if when you talked about this podcast, I wanted to do a podcast. But I can see far enough down the line that let's see what we can do with this. Let's see. It ain't just this part. If you got to understand, this is an opportunity where we can come together and we can do something, man, and we can see where we can take this. We don't know what will be offered because of this. All we got to do, I would think, is focus on this. Be great at this. And then the next opportunity will present itself, and then you can do it. People get so caught up in, if it ain't going to make them no fucking money, then they miss the whole boat. They missed the whole boat. Like, even the shit we was doing before COVID. Ain't making us no money. That's not the point. But we don't know who gonna come in now. We don't know what we doing now or then or next week or next year. We don't know what that shit gonna spark.
That's definitely I can agree with you because The thing that people don't understand, you got to create your own lane. All right?
Absolutely.
You got to create your own lane. And you don't have to be the most innovative person or the smartest person in the room, but you have to be willing to create your own lane, and you have to be willing to believe in yourself. A lot of people doubt their ability to accomplish certain things, right? I went into the food business and had never been in the food business other than working at McDonald's and, a cookie company. I didn't know how to run a food business. And I went to a restaurant owner and I asked them, could I do an internship? And I explained to them that, hey, this is my plan, but I don't know how to run a kitchen or to run a restaurant. And these folks let me come in for 2.5, 3 months. And I worked for free to learn how to run, a food service business. And they let me do it. They taught me everything that, I needed to know. They taught me, hey, what's the difference between food costs and, plating your food. They taught me the difference between customer service. They taught me about, the dick riders that's going to come along with owning a business. They taught me everything that I needed to know, and then wouldn't release me until they felt comfortable enough to let me go out and, purchase my business. And I think even though that wasn't reaching back, but that was somebody providing you an opportunity to be successful. And I think reaching back, in my opinion, if I was to answer the question, should you reach back? Under certain conditions, yes. You have to reach back to a person reaching back to a person who is willing to move forward. You got to be able to reach back to a person that's not just standing still, stagnant, doing the same thing. Because, where I come from, I still got some of my homeboys that's been selling dope on the corner since the 80s.
Man, ain't nobody gonna sell no. Oh, never mind.
And they're just doing the same thing. They haven't elevated themselves.
Introduced theirs to a cartel.
Right.
You've been doing this shit too long, though.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, it's like, do I reach back to these guys and tell them there's an opportunity? Or maybe I use my influence to get them a job somewhere else? No, they're going to be an embarrassment to my efforts. And I can't have you embarrassing my efforts, because although I try to help elevate you, there's going to be someone else that comes along, and because you soured the relationship I had with somebody else, they're not going to listen to me when I said this is a great person who could help build your brand or your business or whatever. I try to connect folks. I try to connect brands with brands. I try to connect people who are willing to get out in the streets and take a hammer and nail and put a flyer up on a flag, up on a telephone pole. They're not looking to be, always not looking to be the one that stands out.
But I don't want our podcast to come off like we don't want to help. We don't want to help people, like, because I feel like to a lesser extent, everybody in our respective cities feel like, oh shit, they're doing good, they made it. But like, I don't want people to think that anybody is saying on this podcast that we are not responsible for our communities, because I feel like we are. I just still feel like you need to be smart with it, because like, you don't want to make, and you never want to put yourself into harm's way. Like, I would never do something or ask Gary to do something that could potentially take him away from his family. You see what I'm saying? And like, you gotta have some people like that around you who just not gonna call you with bullshit. You gotta know who you gonna call. Like, and I feel like sometimes when you want to reach back for folks, they not even in the position to goddamn receive it. So if you're not in a position to receive it, of course you're not gonna execute what you want to do. Even if you want to do better, if you haven't made up your mind that, hey, I'm not gonna do it like this no more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you say you got a partner. I know you said you got a partner with a business. I know what you're talking about, but your other partner is like, you can call him. We can call him.
Well,
but
that's his form of business.
First of all, man. Selling weed. As a matter of fact, selling weed is not even a business. I'm even willing to entertain it. Selling dope is more of a business than selling weed, and I'm not I'm not suggesting that we sell dope. I'm just simply saying that growth in everything, even selling weed, is a necessity.
So even if you're doing something illegal,
Man, I wish you might still be goddamn selling weed from
stepped
high
it
school.
up, man.
No. Somebody plugged this man in, took goddamn some Colombians, Nicaraguans, whatever.
I'll say this, man. The last person that I was talking about, and the one that I pretty much, when I met this person, I just saw so much of myself. To be honest, this shit just hurt me the way the shit just kind of panned out, because I kind of bent over backwards to help this person.
Right.
I try to give you everything I had to make you successful so you won't follow the same pattern that I did. Immediately when I met you, I try to give you as much game as I had so you won't go back home and follow the same shit that I did. And to see this shit, the way things kind of just unraveled, and now you gone without reaching out to nobody, it's like, that shit was like a slap in the face, because it's like, dude, I thought I was pretty much as genuine as possible, but
how your family feel about you now, though, since you did that? Like, how your people, now when I say family, I mean your people back home.
That person?
Well, yeah, all of them.
Well, I haven't talked to that person. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm talking about.
You said you reached back out to him, and
No. I'm talking about the person that was here with us, that was working with us, that just left.
Oh, no.
Because I just saw, I was like, okay, let me try to help you so you won't fall into the same shit that we did.
Nah, I'll be honest with you. Some people ain't. I'll tell you what, and I'm gonna shoot them some bail. Some people not ready to receive what you trying to show them, because watch this. Somebody tried to show it to you. Yeah. And imagine where you would have been if your ass would have never went home.
Ooh, woo.
You see what I'm saying? So,
oh man, I would have been a new nigga in the bay, baby. Oh,
so check it out.
So
that was an opportunity for you. You looked that opportunity in the face. You balled that shit up and you threw that shit in the trash, and you went home. Now that was your choice to do it.
Yeah.
God came back around for your ass and put you on. Now but everybody don't get that. So to that person that you talking about, I'll just say maybe they ain't recognizing the opportunity. And at the same time, man, you was probably a different man the second time around. You see what I'm saying? Because the shit at 20 anything that I'll walk away from, shit, at 40 you can't walk away from that. And shit, at 60 you can't walk away from the shit you walking away from at 40. Yeah. We only got so much time to do what we got to do in this world. So, like, I feel like opportunity sometimes. That shit is like a 401k plan. You know what I'm saying? You can put into this shit, you can put into this shit, you can put into this shit. But at some point, you better motherfucking go ahead and really do it and lock yourself in, because, yeah, it don't make no sense to start a 401k at fucking 60. We don't got too much to put in this bitch.
Not too much time to put in.
Yeah.
I think reaching back and helping a person, or even reaching out to do something to your community, it should be an investment. It should be something that you're willing to invest your heart into. It should be something that you're willing to invest your time into, and maybe even a little bit of your finances.
Whoa, wait a minute.
At that point, I can't even.
Wait, what? Why?
Yeah, right now.
No, I say sometimes. So, and this is what I mean by this. Sometimes there are people who are in need of you reaching back for them because they don't know how to move forward. Right. They don't understand how to take those steps. And some people are very afraid to take risk. I'm a risk taker.
That's now, crazy. People want. Yeah, go ahead.
I calculate my steps. I calculate the risk. Now, my thing is this. This is my calculation of risk. Is it going to affect my family? Am I going to end up in divorce court?
Oh, but see, okay, so the risk was when I came to Cali. I remember like it was yesterday. I came to Cali probably in the end of May. By that time, I had used up all my vacation days, taking days off, going to these fuck-ass job fairs.
Right.
Trying to just get anything So my risk was, okay, you can come out here to Cali. This is a temp to perm job, depending on how you operate.
You perform.
Exactly.
My thing was, I have to take this opportunity because I'm not doing nothing here working fucking 7 days a week. I have to take this opportunity to take care of my family.
Got to take a risk.
I took a risk and left my wife. We didn't even plan anything. I said, I'm gone in 2 weeks because I saw this is our way out. Now, 25-year-old Gary did not plan, okay, we're going to do X, Y, Z. I was just gone because I seen the opportunity and things worked out down the line, but it was a risk that I had to take for the betterment of my family. And, you know, it was a little shaky where I almost got to divorce court because I was moving too much. At that age, I was just, but it was like that was a risk that I had to take for my family. And even coming out here,
right,
it was an even bigger risk, but this reward,
you know what's so crazy about
can't even put a value on it.
You know what's so crazy about you saying that, man? Because we came out the same way, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand. These companies out here, sometimes they'll bring you out, but it's on some temp shit. Mm-hmm. And we was both temp when we came out here, but that's why, like the person you talking about, they don't even recognize their goddamn blessing, man. They was straight. They was permanent. Think about it. We came out here on some temporary shit, on some y'all better do it or y'all can go home. And man, when I came out to Cali, I was scared as hell because what people don't understand is I don't got nowhere to go if this shit don't work. Yeah, I gotta move back across the fucking country if this shit don't work. And man, listen, my homeboy Ulysses told me all the time, these people out here act like this because they don't know no broke people. Hey, Ulysses say this shit all. I used to see him in the hallway. He used to say, dog, they act like that. They act so cavalier with this goddamn job because they don't know enough broke people. My homeboy used to tell me all the time, man, I've done a lot harder work for a lot less pay. He said, man, I used to bust up concrete in South Carolina. He said, so you can't tell me shit about hard work at this job, man. And I feel like when you got that kind of mentality, when I came out here, man, I used to sweat at work, literally be sweating because I'm trying to do everything because I want them to know, hey, make me permanent, man. I'm the dude for the job. And then when they made me permanent, like I still don't think that I ever lost that, man. I don't know if I ever told y'all this. Every day I go to work, man, when I'm in my car driving to work, I say to God, thank you for the opportunity. Not for no fucking money, not for no shit I done bought or I can buy, just for the opportunity to change my goddamn life, only because I knew where the fuck I was before all this shit.
And see, the back end on that, when I came out here, I was 36. And once again, my manager reached back out for me.
Second opportunity.
Hey, we need 90 people. We heard you want to come back or whatever. There's not too many spots, not too many companies going to give you opportunities like that.
Tell them about all the shit you had to do and to wrap up in Georgia, though, to come out here. You had a house? You had all your shit?
I had to sell my house. It was a lot of stuff that I had to do, and
you got to step out on faith on that shit, man.
Luckily, I had, one of my old classmates. She sold my house because I was just going to do a short sale and just get the hell on. But, being, going through that college life and, being connected with the right people, man, I had somebody sell my house.
Building over those relationships.
Yeah. And I had known this girl for, at that time, it was probably 10 years or whatever. So she came through, sold my house, and got it, got me up out of that hole, man. It's like everything just fell in place. Just the opportunity I have out here is you can't really put words to it, and that's just really having the right people in place who believe in you and giving you that second opportunity. Not too many people get that opportunity to get a second chance.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about reaching out and helping other people, right? Or reaching out and bringing them up to your level. right? And
Keep on saying to your level. They ain't gonna like that shit.
you know,
They ain't gonna like that. No, that's all I'm gonna say to you.
That's my question.
Get on my level, y'all peasants.
Are we
That what Clint
speaking? Are we speaking selfishly?
No.
If you're looking back at your friends or people that you grew up with, and you're going, you know what, my circumstance is better than your current circumstance. Are you thinking selfishly?
No, I did that with two of my nephews, trying to get them hired out here. Dre went above and beyond to redo my nephew's complete resume to try to help him because he was in the military. My vision was, as an uncle, let me try to get you out of that situation and just get you situated out here and try to take care of your family.
Right.
I try to do that with both my nephews because I saw
where you are
I saw
versus where you could be.
Yeah, I see where you are. You got kids. I'm just trying to help you get to at least where you are stable, and then you can make, a decision on what you want to do with your life. But I was just trying to help them because I saw where they were, and I remember where I was at that age. Yeah. So I'm like, let me try to help and just sow as much as I can to get you out of that hole because I know what it's like to be
struggling, take care of family.
Yeah, exactly.
I look at a lot of situations. When I go home and I go through the hood. Most people that know me, I grew up in Compton, California, and I go home and I always go back to the hood. That's where the love is. That's where the spice is. That's where, my flavor, my taste is. I go back to the hood. Anybody that ever goes to Cali with me, I'm speeding through hoods like, this is where you saw this in the video. This is such and such.
I can't wait to Cali see me, baby. Oh, I can't wait.
But the downside to that is you grew up in a very bad situation.
Yep.
Like when I was growing up, the crime, the violence was at its all-time high because of, the influx of crack cocaine, and we can argue who bought it in or whatever. But it was horrible,
But you appreciate it, though.
Down the line.
You know what I can appreciate about it? I can appreciate getting out.
Yeah, it made you.
Right. But at the same time, I always look at, okay, should I be doing more? Now, I deal with a couple people and, I reach back out. I've had homies who, in their later years got locked up for stupidities and, they might have been down for 4 to 7 years, and I took care of them the whole time that they were down. These was people that I grew up in. But and what I mean by you reaching back and trying to elevate somebody, my homie was locked up. I'm putting money on your books. I'm putting, I'm buying you packages. When you get out, I'm getting you clothes, the bare necessities. There's no reward in that except for your happiness. Or you know what? The reward is you've been convenienced.
I mean, yeah.
So,
man.
and what I say with that is, and the reason why I say that is this, right? You can reach back and help people, but you don't necessarily have to help them to get to your level. Because a lot of people, let's say if the shoes were on the other foot. Gary, you're working at the current company that you work with, and their requirement is a certain education. Not everybody fits that requirement, so you can't elevate them to that. Right. But maybe you might be able to elevate them by putting them in touch with an instructor or a school or somewhere to get some education. But then the downside to that is some people just don't have that ambition.
Yeah, man, but I feel like in your heart you gotta want everybody to win, because if I put somebody else in position, if I introduce somebody to you and you can get them hired and they wind up making more than me or they living better than me, I don't feel no kind of way about that, man. I want you to win.
Right.
When Clint Washington wins, I win. That's my partner. When you win, I do win. And when Gary win, we still win. Like, and I feel like that's part of it, because I feel like people get so caught up into count everybody's shit. Man, when my partners win, I do win. Y'all, who the fuck you think I'm borrowing the $20 from? The fuck I look like? Ain't on you not want you to win. Shit. Well, if you don't win, and then when I need it, who the fuck do I go to? Man, in Clint, I feel like that's idealistic that you want to give back to the. I feel like, listen, man, Atlanta gonna be home forever, and I love every lesson that my childhood taught me. But I would be being disingenuous if I told you I want my child, my son or my daughter, to grow up like I grew up. Or no, let me tell you something. My children, in some warped ass fantasy, feel like they street smart. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't want neither one of these clowns fucking out on the street by themselves. Neither one of them. My son nor daughter, because I will say it right now, y'all don't know shit, and I feel like y'all gonna get yourself in a dangerous ass situation because everybody not playing. And you know, it's so funny you said when you go home, because when I go home and I'm by myself, I do check all my little old spots.
Right.
When I'm with my children, we not going there. We not going nowhere near there, because honestly, I don't want my kids to have to see me be myself. And what I mean by that is, I go home sometime, and I'm not gonna lie, man. Gary, if I'm in the city more than 3 days, I start being like, man, let me get the fuck out of here, man. Somebody take me to the airport before I kill one. Let me get out of here, man.
Yeah, reality shit
because
real quick.
I'm grown now. I've outgrown this bullshit, and it's bullshit, and I see it's bullshit, and I'd rather just go on and get back to the safety of Beaverton.
Man, me and Jeff just had a conversation about that with the way we was living when we were younger, and we talking about All-Star Weekend.
Man, please,
and
I don't want it.
The amount of foolishness our people were putting themselves into for that facade of Atlanta with this weekend. And
man, let them young kids do what they do, man. I feel old. Listen, let them young kids do what they do. Cause when we was young and it was Freaknet, and we were jumping out on the highways, and we was on the top of the cars, and we was asking the girls to, hey, show something for the camera, baby. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody
I still got a couple of those pictures. Where my wife? She ain't in
here. Hey, hold on. Hey, listen, man. I feel like I hope y'all all enjoy y'all youth, and I pray y'all get the opportunity to grow old.
I'm gonna give you guys 9 tips.
I'm glad my kids wasn't raised in Atlanta.
This is, if you want to reach back, I want to teach you a little something about leadership and how to be a leader.
Okay.
Because however you elevated your game, and we're not talking about financially. When we're talking about elevating yourself so you can reach back to other people, this goes way beyond just having money. Sometimes you can be the person that just provides an opportunity.
Yep.
Sometimes you're just the person who provides a resource. Sometimes you can just give someone encouraging words, and that could be reaching back. So 1, have honest and open communications. And what I mean by honest and open communications with people, don't just tell people how good it is where you are. Tell them how horrible it was to get to where you are. Be open and tell them the truth and communicate with them. Be open about it. And that goes along with the number 2, be personable. All right? Being personable with a person is just, you trying to build trust, that you're really trying to help them. Be personable. Tell them about your struggles. Then actions. All right? The next one is actions. If you're going to reach back for a person, don't just tell them where to go apply for the job.
Exactly.
Don't just tell them what school. Man, look, let me drive you over here to the interview. Exactly. Let me make this phone call to this hiring manager.
All right.
Let me show you the job rec and how you qualify for this job rec.
Be intentional. Yep.
The other thing is,
that go a long way.
Yeah, man, it do. Because it make you feel like you ain't by your fucking self.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Number 4, use whatever platform you have. If you're going to reach back for a person, you're a manager, you're the person at McDonald's on fries, it doesn't matter. Use your platform to help elevate that person that you're reaching back for. Number 5, support. Support them. Support others more than you ask for support. Now you guys know we've been working together a long time. You know, we've been doing our thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you have to support people more than you want their support. So when you reach back for that person, understand you got to be that extra shoulder that they need to lean on. Right. You got to be that extra effort because you know what? When you reaching for a person to help elevate their game, maybe they don't have a car and they don't have access to an Uber account to get around. Yeah. You got to put yourself in that position that, hey, you know what? I'm going to pick you up.
Get them all.
I'm going to drop you off.
Get them all the way
I
down.
might be 2 hours late picking you up. But, you know, I'm going to get you to where you need to get to.
Get there.
Number 6, be positive and optimistic. Always be positive. You know what I'm saying? Be honest with people, right? You keep a positive attitude, you become someone that people are drawn to. When you're positive, light in others, people's lives, you will have the opportunity to lead others in a positive way. You got to do that. Number 7, stay calm in hard circumstances. Sometimes when you reach back for a person, they're in a very bad situation. It can be a battered person in a very toxic relationship. You got to stay calm in that situation. You know. Number 8, you got to be organized. Be organized and on top of it. If I tell you on Friday I'm going to swing by, pick you up, and I'm going to take you to meet these people, make sure those people are there. Yeah. Make sure they actually show up. Don't start calling them on your way there. Make sure these key folks is there. And the other thing, show you have faith and trust in others. Having faith and trust in other goals.
That might be the hardest one, man.
Man, that's the hardest one.
That might be the hardest one, man.
It is.
Because, you know, that might be the hardest one because, you know, the funny thing about people, man, you can want something for somebody all you fucking want, man. I can want you to win. I can want Gary to win. I can say, man, please, dog, please go to work, man. Please just fucking show up on time and do this damn job. And I promise you, man, you're going to get to this money.
I'll be late.
Dog, that's what I'm saying. I can want that for you.
Yeah.
But, man, if you and I got to say, it might be about growth. If you ain't made that decision in your mind that, man, I got too much to lose to fuck around and not get my sleep and get up on time and go get it, you can't get at nobody. So just I think that shit might be the gem of the whole thing, man. Just you gotta be accountable, man. You gotta be accountable and jump up there and go get that shit, man. It's there. And I like I said, I don't want nobody on this podcast to come off like we on no plateau. Listen, man, I ain't shit, man. I'm just a motherfucker it worked out for. And I feel like my partners, it's the same way. This shit just worked out for us. Matter of fact, it ain't even work out for us. It's working out for us now. Because ain't nobody fucking sitting here like this shit is all good. And I'm going to tell you something about your boy. I ain't afraid to go get this shit nowhere else. I'll fucking flip this shit at Burger King. Let them talk about coming and get my truck. Fucking right.
But see, going back to what you said, the 25-year-old Gary wasn't respecting the opportunity that was in front of me.
Right.
And when I just got homesick and thought that Cali wasn't for me, I left. And I got humble real quick. And that humble situation lasted for 7 years.
Yeah.
So then when I came out here, I didn't necessarily want to come all the way out to Oregon. But I had to do what I had to do for my family.
And don't give up, man. And don't give up on the shit. Because like you said, it took you 7 damn years. Don't give up on the shit, man. Because guess what? No, as soon as you never know what's around that corner, man. You never know when that shit gonna click for you. And had you given up in the 6th year thinking this is my life for fucking ever.
Exactly.
You never know where the fuck you'll be. But you believe that, hey man, this don't gotta be forever for me.
But see, going back to the original situation, the original question, when your brother reached out to me and gave me that opportunity, had I just fucked over the whole situation, the job, the management, they wouldn't have gave me that opportunity to come back out here.
Yeah.
Being to the fact that I had that much respect for your brother, and the situation he put me in. I tried my best to do the best I could at the job, and hell, had I been smart, I would have sat my ass down. But it's like the respect I have for him, there's no way I could have fucked over the situation I had.
That's how I felt too. I ain't want to embarrass my brother.
That opened up the door for me here. Like, it's crazy. When I first got here and started training with engineers, they're like, oh, you, Gary, we heard all this stuff about you. Like, people are still talking about me when I first got there from the connections I had because I did a great job because I respect them.
You influenced it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that, and that's the great part of this shit, man, because like you said, you didn't want to throw dirt on his name. He reached out for me
Twice?
Twice. And so I don't want to throw dirt on him. Man, when I came out here, I didn't want to embarrass my brother. Yeah. A lot of this shit was just not wanting to embarrass my brother. Like, I don't want to embarrass him. If he say you can do it, if Clint say, hey, DeAngelo is your dude, call D, DeAngelo gonna take care of that for you. I don't want to let him down. Shit, he don't put my name out there and said that I can handle it. So when I fuck it up, not only do I fuck my name, I say Clint don't know what he's talking about either. Yeah. So and remember that, man. If somebody do reach out for y'all, remember it ain't just you, man. It ain't just you. As much as you think that you only fucking up your own opportunity, you making the person who reached out for you. For one, they ain't never gonna reach out for you again. I don't know about y'all. I don't know about y'all brothers. I know my brother ain't gonna reach out.
I'm telling you, I'm done.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm done reaching out.
Yeah, why would you say don't end our podcast like that? Negative ass.
Hey, listen.
It is what it is.
It's been
final thought.
It's been certain circumstances where my friends have decided to reach out for other people, and I've told them. I told them to the face, hey man, listen.
You a hater too. You said don't reach out.
No, and this is why.
Dark skin.
Right? I've seen situations where you can reach out to a person and it doesn't benefit you in the end. Now, I'm not talking about as far as benefiting you financially or stroking your ego or shining a light on how great of a person you are. It backfires, right? Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, to close out this episode of 2 Cent the Podcast, we were asking a question. Based on your amount of success, should you reach back? Now, you're going to have to answer that question for yourself. Yeah. You're going to have to measure what it is that you determine is successful. Is your success being you're successful at being a billionaire, maybe a millionaire, a thousandaire, or maybe you just got a couple extra $100 in the bank? What is your measure of success, and should you reach back? This has been another episode of 2 Cent the Podcast. We appreciate you guys for listening, and we appreciate that you guys have reached out and reached back to us to make us this success.
This has been 2 Cents, the podcast, hosted by Clinton Washington, with co-host DeAngelo Gillespie, brought to you by Underway Entertainment and Pound the Pavement Productions. Thanks for listening.